Yeah, if you saw the thumbnail, you already know what I'm doing. I mentioned in a earlier post that I might do some reaction stuff. I also mentioned this on my Discord, and here we are. Originally, I was going to wait till the Godzilla vs. Hulk death battle, but since that got postponed another week, I'm just going to start with something else. A video that I haven't seen before. So, this is from Animatronrewind. I'll link the channel and the original video in the description, so you can watch the original video. Please do support their channel. Most of the time, they're pretty accurate from what I've seen. I haven't seen this one yet. But yeah, it's Bardock vs. Omni-man. I'm sure anyone that's seen my channel knows my opinion on the death battle between the two. I wasn't very happy about that one. So I'm hoping they actually get the verdict right here, assuming they're using a version of Bardock that actually beats Omni-man. There are some versions that technically don't, but I'm going to assume that they're going to use the ones that do, because that's the more popular versions of Bardock. Regardless, though, yeah, I'm just going to be reacting to this video, which is something I've never done until now, I guess.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to a bonus episode of Cartoon Fight Club. I'm your host, Animatronrewind, and today we have a battle between two
Well, it looks like they're
dads
using
who come
Super
from
Saiyan.
warrior races.
So,
Goku's
yeah, Bardock
dad,
should win.
Bardock, and Invincible's dad, Omni-man. Now, this is a bonus episode, so the pre-analysis will pretty much be a review since these characters have made appearances on this series before. Speaking of which, let's introduce Cartoon Fight Club's next bonus round of fighters.
Wait, Brian, wait! Now let's watch a whole bunch of ads.
Oh, what the
Bardock
fuck?
is the father of Goku and Raditz, the husband of Gine, and was once a servant to Lord Frieza. Frieza ruled over many Saiyans like Bardock in his quest to conquer planets, and for the longest of time, Bardock had no choice but to live under such harsh conditions and rule. Bardock finally had enough of this way of life and decided to go on a heated mission to take on Frieza and free his race. Bardock at the beginning had some mild success, as he was actually able to take out Frieza's lower tier army, but when he had to go up against the big guns like Frieza and his top tier members, that's when his luck started to come to an end. Bardock lost
yeah,
the
he got
battle, but
nuked.
he didn't exactly
He did
die.
take on like
In fact,
100
he was
Frieza Force
blasted
members
so
at
hard
once,
that
though,
he
and
was
the
set back
average
in
Frieza Force
time.
member is
After a long
large
period of
planetary,
time,
so...
Bardock finally had the will in him to transform into a Super Saiyan, and this power boost allowed him to win battles the way he always intended it to be.
So it looks like they're
many
using
Saiyans,
Z
he has
Bardock
the
with
abilities of
the
flight,
Super
super
Saiyan
strength,
transformation.
ki manipulation, ki
Due to his
blasting,
base
and
power
he
being
even
around
has his own
10,000 in Z,
signature
it's higher in
abilities,
Super.
such as the
But
Ride
I don't think
Javelin.
you're going to use that
With
here. I
the
don't even know
Ride
if that was
Javelin,
out when this video
Bardock
came out,
makes a
actually.
clenched fist in front of him
Yeah, his
as he
Super
charges a
Saiyan
blue
form
energy
would be
sphere.
almost as powerful as
Then
First
he
Form
draws his
Frieza,
fist back
who
and
is
charges the
pretty
energy
much
in the
solar
sphere
system
again,
level at
making
like
it
the
bigger and
lowest
more
end.
powerful. Finally, Bardock brings his hand forward and releases this energy in a powerful inflicting motion. One weakness for Bardock is he isn't as transformative as his son. He needs a lot of focus and time to transform into a simple Super Saiyan 1, let alone anything else. And when compared to the other Saiyans, he's actually considered to be one of the lower tiers.
He
Overall,
was
Bardock is the
considered
father
a
of
low-class
Goku and
Saiyan, but I mean,
possesses
so
many
is
of the same
Goku.
abilities
At
as his
this
fellow
point in
Saiyans.
that
However, he is considered one of the
non-canon
lower
little
tiers
extra
and has
thing
his
where you get
very
Super
own
Saiyan,
specific limitations.
he's by far the strongest Saiyan
Ladies and
alive
gentlemen, boys and
up to
girls,
this point in
today
history,
I
and would
present to you
just
not
basically be
Superman,
above everyone.
otherwise known as
Even in his
Omni-Man.
base
Now, of
state, his
course,
power level was
having a
10,000,
strong
so he'd
resemblance to
be
Superman,
on par
such
with
as his
King Vegeta,
physical
who's like the
stature,
second strongest
skin-tight
Saiyan
suit,
outside
and
Prince
amazing
Vegeta.
red cape.
And I guess
You think
Broly.
that Omni-Man is a good guy at a first glance, right? Well, actually, the answer isn't that clear, and honestly, it leans more towards the opposite side. Omni-Man, also known as Nolan Grayson, is the father of Invincible, and a member of the humanoid species known as the Viltrumite race. These creatures possess superhuman strength, virtual immortality, extreme speed, and flight. Nolan arrived on Earth in the 1980s. This is where he goes on to marry a woman named Debbie, whose life he had saved, and together they have a child named Mark, who would soon become invincible. Later on, Omni-Man leads the Earth's
I'm not
superhero
too sure on the
team,
comic. I only
Guardians
read
of the Galaxy.
kind of like later
Clearly, I'm
chapters,
kidding,
but
since their
at least in the
actual
show,
team
he
name
doesn't
is the
lead the
Guardians of
Guardians.
the
He's
Globe.
just
But in my
Kinda
opinion,
there.
the Guardians of the Galaxy are the true Chads. Anyway, major spoiler warning ahead. After leading the Guardians to their hideout in Utah, this is where he brutally murders all the team members. This includes the Immortal, War Woman, Martian Man, Green Ghost, Darkwing, Red Rush, and Black Samson.
Again, not too sure on the
Pretty much he
comic,
beat
but
up
at
the
least in the
Justice
show,
League.
Black Samson
Omni-Man
is
also
already
has some
not a
special
member of the
alien
Guardians by
technology
that
in his
point.
ear, which
So,
allows him to transmit and hear
yeah.
others' thoughts. He can hold his breath for an entire 2 weeks, has mid-low regeneration, and has strong resistance to extremely hot and cold temperatures. His highest calculated strength was destroying the entirety of planet Viltrum. Now, he did have the help of his son and Thaddeus
the
to
Infinity
destroy
Ray.
this planet, but even with that in mind, this can still be calculated to give Omni-Man small planet attack potency. He can also scale to his son Invincible, who is capable of tanking attacks from Thrag, and both of them withstood the shockwave of the destruction of this planet. It's very easy to assume that Omni-Man has at least small planet level strength and durability. In terms of speed, Omni-Man flew all the way from Earth to another inhabited planet in a week. This was calculated to reach around 221 times the speed of light, and tack on the fact he pretty much never gets tired. Omni-Man also has thousands of years of experience and knows various different combat techniques and skills. He has plenty of experience fighting various enemies with different abilities, but no man is perfect, and that includes Omni-Man. He has been stated to have very vulnerable ears, meaning extremely loud noises can damage him.
Okay, that's kind of debatable.
And
but
now,
I'll get into that
let's
later.
get ready for the fight. This battle will take place on Earth, and remember, there is no prep time. Let the battle begin!
Alright, a couple things before the fight starts. There was a couple minor, potentially mistakes in the Omni-Man thing, I'm not for sure. Again, I only read later parts of the comic, but for Bardock, he didn't really mention how Super Saiyan kind of almost scales to First Form Frieza that much, though he was acting like Bardock is still extremely powerful in Super Saiyan, so I'm assuming he's still going to get him above Small Planetary where he has Omni-Man, hopefully, but Omni-Man also can get higher than Small Planetary. Because in the comic book, Tech Jacket has a basically durability feat that can be calced anywhere from like large star to solar, and then Omni-Man also with the planet he destroyed with help, Viltrum. Viltrum survived a blast from a gun that can basically one-shot stars. So it's kind of tricky where he should scale consistently, but typically I'd have him at like large planetary to somewhere in the star ranges, which is well above small planetary, but still Bardock would just be in that solar range casually, as First Form Frieza destroyed a planet that arguably had yellow suns as stars in the anime continuity. It would also upscale King Vegeta's casual hand swipe, which, due to the size of the average planet in Dragon Ball, which is anywhere from 2 to over like 8 times the size of Earth, is a large star level feat due to the size of the explosions and how casual it was and how fast it was. So how the fight would realistically go is base Bardock kind of is overpowering Omni-Man pretty easily for the most part, and then Super Saiyan Bardock would just basically nuke him. As for speed, Bardock has arguments for being trillions of times FTL off filler in the anime, and even without that, he can be argued still nearing those levels off of King Kai's feats, who he's stronger than. And then Omni-Man has feats that get him up to like billions of times, potentially, but nothing that gets him to the trillions, so Bardock should be a lot faster too. But regardless, obviously they're going to actually fight here because this is an animation made for entertainment, not meant to be hyper accurate. A lot of fights, if they're made to be hyper accurate, would be kind of boring. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into it. What the hell is Mark doing?
Why did you make me do this?
Oh.
You're
Oh,
fighting
this is
so
season
you can
1.
watch everyone
Oh,
around
boy.
you die. Think, Mark.
This episode
You'll
was like
outlast
really
every
good when it
fragile,
came out. I
insignificant
mean, it
being
still
on
is,
this
but like when it
planet.
came out, this was like
You'll
amazing.
live to see this world crumble to dust and blow away. Everyone and everything you
The animation looks pretty nice
will
so
be
far.
gone.
Like, actually really good. I'm sure they did a lot of tracing
What
and stuff
will
though off
you
the show, but
have
still the
after
sprite's pretty nice.
500 years.
I still have you.
Yeah, this fight like wasn't fair at all in the comic or the show because like season 1 Mark is unironically weaker than like the Immortal. Like actually. So he stood like 0 chance. Omni-Man was barely even trying the entire time. Oh, they're gonna fight on Namek. But I thought he said they were fighting on Earth. You know, never mind. I'm not gonna ask. I do wonder what is Bardock doing on Namek. Oh, so Omni-Man's just out here murdering Namekians because plot reasons, I guess. Okay. Not sure why that would make Bardock angry unless we're going off. This is right after he already went through the same one. Bardock should also be more skilled, in my opinion. I mean, Omni-Man is a lot older and has a lot more experience, but Bardock like actually uses martial arts, whereas Omni-Man kinda doesn't. Yeah, beat the shit out of him, Bardock. Get revenge for that death battle they robbed you of. Omni-Man dodging keys. I could see if you're going off it being just light speed, but like realistically I couldn't see him doing that.
Don't underestimate me.
Come on, man. Get up. Go Super Saiyan or something. Jesus. Right. I think Omni-Man look like he's gonna like commit genocide in this animation. That big eyes. Jesus. Yeah, Omni-Man's good. Ow. Yeah, that's about how I felt going.
Hopefully you enjoyed that animation, and if you did, super special thanks to Team Animation Rewind's Isaac X Bode. Thanks, and enjoy the post-analysis. The winner is Bardock, but it's a lot closer than it seems if you don't factor in the Super Saiyan form or even the Great Ape form, if we're being honest. If this is just base form Bardock versus an Omni-Man, in which we do be lenient and give him 100% of the credit for being a planet-busting threat, which realistically we shouldn't do that, but for the sake of argument we can entertain the idea just to drive home how much Super Saiyan Bardock can end up winning this battle, which we're gonna do. Let's have a stat breakdown real quick. Both Omni-Man and Bardock are planet-level threats. Omni-Man ripped through the core of a planet, and Bardock can scale to King Vegeta, who's a casual planet buster.
There's also no-name Saiyans that just shrug off that triple planet bust despite being on the planet when it happened, by the way.
Depending on the size of the planet, can either be large multi-planet or dwarf star level if the star is small enough. Speed is another thing. You could argue that Omni-Man is MFTL with his travel speed, since he did fly from Earth to the Virgo supercluster within a week, but we really haven't seen any MFTL combat abilities in terms of short-term close quarters combat. Bardock,
yeah, that's something about Invincible people forget a lot. The characters in the verse have to build up speed over time. Though there are showings of potentially massively faster than light stuff, mainly from out in alien dodging spaceships that are going that speed. Typically, they're only going like FPL for most calculations and most showings. They also act like massively faster than light, like super fast for combat in the verse itself, so it's iffy.
Over mustached James Jonah Jameson. Wait, that makes no sense. He's always had a mustache. Never mind. If we were to equalize stats completely, Bardock would have an arsenal and tactical advantage over Omni-Man. Bardock has many different range attacks, whereas Omni-Man has to
Which is something that I don't understand why Death Battle didn't bring that up. Because when they did Broly vs. Hulk, they acted like that was a huge reason why Broly won that. I don't agree with that battle either, but at least that one, they were using like kind of more consistent stuff for Hulk. They weren't using his higher ends. If they would use higher ends, Broly would got one shot. But I mean, they brought it up in other death battles. I don't understand why they switched that depending on who's fighting, just to get the wrong outcome on 2 different ones.
Cartoon Fight Club.
I mean, yeah, that was pretty good. The animation was really good. I liked it a lot. Whoever animated that, you did an amazing job if you somehow see this video. Again, the original video and the channel will be in the description of this video. I do like their research. I mean, they got the verdict right. I do think that there's some higher ends that they didn't touch on that could be used for this fight, but the ending would have been the same. Bardock's faster, stronger on a consistent end. Basically his low ends or mid ends are Omni-man's high ends, and just overall has a better arsenal, is likely slightly more skilled, even though Omni-man is more experienced. The only thing Omni-man really has is stamina, and he can also take more physical damage before being knocked out of the fight. But, I mean, Bardock still shows that he can take a pretty big ass whooping and still get back up. His fight with Gas should show that pretty well in Dragon Ball Super. And if you use Dragon Ball Super Bardock, it's not even close in base form. Due to his like amped up base he gets against Gas, he'd be stronger than Ginyu. So he wouldn't even need something like Super Saiyan or Great Ape to actually just beat anyone in Invincible, pretty much. But yeah, I agree with the verdict. Go check out their channel and that video. And I guess I'll see you guys next one. Bye.